Chris Picuro, teaching tax flow. First of all, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for everyone that's subscribed to this YouTube channel. If you haven't already, take that 1 second and subscribe. I promise you, we're going to help you legally and ethically reduce the tax you pay in your lifetime. We are firmly into 2026, and I wanted to update our community on the standard mileage rates for this year. Now, they were announced at the very end of 2025 by the IRS. Many of us were taking that week off between Christmas and New Year and relaxing while the IRS is actually working. So on December 29th, they announced this increase in standard mileage deduction. Now, remember, the standard mileage deduction is typically a very generous deduction. We're still going to need to keep mileage logs to enable that deduction on our tax return. However, you have a choice as a business owner. If you have a business vehicle, you could either take that actual expense or standard mileage deduction. And the standard mileage deduction for business owners is 72.5 cents per mile. Now, that's a very generous deduction. So it really doesn't matter if your vehicle gets 100 miles a gallon, 50 miles a gallon, or 10 miles a gallon. The standard mileage deduction is the same. In fact, the IRS said that even if you have a fully electric or hybrid vehicle, you're still eligible for the standard mileage deduction. Same with diesel vehicles. There's also a couple other standard mileage deductions that sometimes get forgotten. So for taxpayers that itemize their deductions on a Schedule 1A and have medical expenses that are deductible, you want to consider taking the medical mileage deduction. As you can see, that's 20.5 cents per mile for 2026. Interestingly enough, even though the business mileage deduction went up 2.5 cents, the medical mileage deduction went down 0.5 cents. So still, you get 20.5 cents per mile for medical purposes. So for those taxpayers that do have a bit of driving to do for medical purposes, you're going to want to take advantage of that deduction. Same with moving. Now, we remember with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, that moving deduction went away unless you're part of the armed forces or active duty or certain people in the intelligence community. So if you're in one of those situations where you can deduct your moving expenses, which is rare, you are also eligible for that 20.5 cent per mile deduction. And that could add up quite a bit, especially if you're moving from one end of the country to the other end of the country. Now, one other thing I want to mention that ties into medical miles, because we're talking about Schedule A. Schedule A is that itemized deduction form. So if your itemized deductions exceed your standard deduction based on your filing status, you're going to want to use Schedule A. Our charitable organization miles. Many people donate their time. There's no deduction for donating your time, but it also makes it feel good. But they also travel for charitable purposes. Those miles are deductible if you itemize your deductions. So definitely keep a log on that. That's going to be 14 cents per mile here in 2026. That's the same rate it was in 2025. But just definitely take advantage of that. So business folks, 72.5 cents per mile for 2026 if you take that standard mileage rate. Itemized deduction folks, remember the medical miles and charitable miles are deductible. And then for those folks that can deduct their moving expenses, you want to take advantage of that as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. We're going to happily answer them, and you have a great day.